Learn English through story. The hidden kiss of passion. In the bustling city of New Haven, life moved quickly, and time seemed to slip through the fingers of its inhabitants like grains of sand. Among the vibrant streets and high-rise buildings lived Olivia, a 30-something marketing executive at a prestigious firm. From the outside, her life appeared perfect as she had a well-paying job, a sleek apartment in the heart of the city, and a circle of friends who adored her. Yet beneath the surface, Olivia felt a void that seemed to widen with each passing day. Despite her success, Olivia was trapped in a monotonous routine, juggling deadlines and meetings, all while trying to maintain an image of the ideal life. Her relationship with Mark, her boyfriend of 3 years, had turned stale, filled with comfortable silences and predictable conversations. They rarely spent quality time together, and the spark that once ignited their romance had dwindled to a flicker. As autumn approached, the city began to change, its trees bursting into hues of gold and crimson. One crisp evening, Olivia decided to break away from her usual routine and visit a small gallery that had opened nearby. She longed for inspiration, an escape from the daily grind, and a chance to reconnect with her passion for art, which had been overshadowed by work. The gallery was intimate, filled with the work of local artists. Each piece seemed to breathe life into the walls, telling stories of love, loss, and longing. As Olivia wandered through the exhibits, she found herself captivated by a particular painting, a breathtaking landscape of a moonlit forest. Shadows dancing between the trees, the colors seemed to resonate with a part of her that had been dormant for far too long. Engrossed in the artwork, Olivia didn't notice the tall figure standing beside her until he spoke. "It's mesmerizing, isn't it?" Startled, Olivia turned to face him. He was striking, with dark hair and piercing green eyes that seemed to hold a depth of emotion. "Yes," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's beautiful." "I'm Alex, by the way," he introduced himself, extending his hand. "I painted this piece. It's one of my favorites." "Olivia," she said, shaking his hand, surprised by the warmth of his grip, "you're incredibly talented." They spent the next hour discussing art, life, and their shared love for creativity. As they spoke, Olivia felt an undeniable connection building between them, something she hadn't experienced in years. It was thrilling and terrifying all at once, like stepping onto the edge of a precipice, unsure of what lay beyond. As the evening wore on, the gallery began to empty, and Olivia found herself reluctant to leave. Alex suggested grabbing a coffee at a nearby cafe tilde copyright, and despite the voice in her head reminding her of Mark, she agreed. Over steaming cups of coffee, they shared stories of their lives, their dreams, and their struggles. Alex spoke passionately about his art, his voice igniting a spark of inspiration within Olivia. She found herself laughing freely, her heart fluttering with each passing moment. "Why do you think we lose touch with our passions?" Alex asked, his gaze intent on her. "It seems like so many people get caught up in the grind and forget what makes them truly happy. I guess it's easier to follow the path that's laid out for us," Olivia replied, her brow furrowed in thought. "We prioritize stability and success over fulfillment. But I've realized that I've been living in a bubble, and it's suffocating. Maybe it's time to break free," he suggested, his eyes sparkling with mischief. "Find what sets your soul on fire." In that moment, Olivia felt a rush of desire, a longing not just for Alex but for the passion she had buried within herself. They shared a lingering gaze, and the world around them faded away. It was as if the universe conspired to draw them closer. The air thick with unspoken tension. As they left the cafe copyright, the cool autumn breeze wrapped around them like a lover's embrace. Olivia knew she should return to Mark, but the thought of saying goodbye to Alex felt like a betrayal to her newfound self. Instead, they wandered the streets, laughing and talking, letting the night guide them. Eventually, they found themselves standing in front of a park illuminated by soft, golden lights. The atmosphere was electric, charged with the thrill of the unknown. "Can I show you something?" Alex asked, his voice low and inviting. Olivia nodded, her heart racing. He led her through the park, past winding paths and towering trees, until they arrived at a secluded spot by a small pond. The water reflected the moonlight, casting a magical glow around them. Alex turned to her, his expression earnest. "I've really enjoyed tonight, Olivia. I feel like we've connected in a way I didn't expect." Olivia's breath caught in her throat as he stepped closer, the warmth of his body radiating toward her. She could feel the electricity crackling between them, a force that seemed to pull her in against her better judgment. "Me too," she whispered, her heart pounding. In that moment, everything shifted. Alex leaned in, brushing his lips against hers softly at first, testing the waters. It was tentative, sweet, and sent shock waves of longing through her. Olivia responded instinctively, deepening the kiss, surrendering to the passion that had been ignited within her. It was exhilarating and intoxicating, a hidden kiss of passion that felt like a revelation. As they pulled away, both breathless, reality rushed back in like a tidal wave. Olivia's mind raced with guilt and confusion. "I shouldn't have done that," she murmured, her heart heavy. "I have a boyfriend." "I know," Alex said, his voice barely above a whisper, filled with understanding. "But I couldn't help myself. There's something about you that feels so broken bar special." The truth hung in the air between them, a delicate balance of desire and guilt. Olivia felt torn, caught between the thrill of the moment and the weight of her commitment to Mark. She had kissed another man, a man who ignited a fire within her that she hadn't felt in years. "I should go," she said, stepping back, her heart racing with panic. "I need to think." "Olivia," Alex called after her as she turned to leave, "you don't have to decide anything right now, just know that I'm here." With those words echoing in her mind, Olivia walked home, the cool night air doing little to calm the storm of emotions swirling within her. She was engulfed in turmoil if she had betrayed Mark, and yet, she felt more alive than she had in ages. Once home, Olivia stood in the center of her apartment, feeling as if she were suspended in time. The walls felt like they were closing in on her, the silence deafening. She picked up her phone and stared at it, tempted to reach out to Alex, but the thought of Mark held her back. Mark was waiting for her in their living room, his expression expectant. "Hey, you're home late. Everything okay?" "Yeah, I just lost track of time at the gallery," she replied, forcing a smile. "It was really inspiring." "Good," he said, oblivious to the turmoil in her heart. "We should plan a weekend trip soon, maybe to the lake." Olivia nodded, her heart sinking further. The idea of a trip with Mark felt suffocating. They had fallen into a comfortable routine, but now, all she could think about was the hidden kiss, the connection she felt with Alex, and the life she yearned to reclaim. Over the next few days, Olivia struggled with her feelings. She felt guilty for what had happened, yet exhilarated by the possibility of change. She began painting again, channeling her emotions into vibrant landscapes filled with color and passion. Each brush stroke was a cathartic release, a way to express the conflict within her. As she painted, her phone buzzed with a message from Alex. "Hey! Just wanted to check in. I hope you're doing okay." The words sent a jolt through her. She hesitated for a moment, then replied, "I've been thinking about everything. I'm sorry about what happened." "Don't apologize," he responded. It was a moment of honesty. "Just take your time." Olivia stared at the screen, feeling a mix of longing and fear. What was she doing? She had a life with Mark, but the more she thought about it, the more she realized that their love had turned stagnant, like water left to sit too long. The following week, they had dinner with friends, and as Olivia sat at the table, laughing and joking, she felt disconnected. She watched Mark as he animatedly discussed work, his eyes shining with enthusiasm, but she couldn't shake the feeling that they were living in two different worlds. Later that evening, while the group mingled, Olivia slipped away to the balcony for some fresh air. As she leaned against the railing, staring out at the city lights, she felt a sense of loneliness wash over her. Just then, her phone buzzed again. This time a picture from Alexa, a stunning sunset over the ocean, the colors vibrant and alive. "Wish you were here," he wrote. In that moment, the weight of her choices pressed down on her. She yearned for the passion she had felt with Alex, for the inspiration and joy that had ignited her spirit, but with that desire came the guilt of her betrayal, a nagging voice reminding her of her commitment to Mark. "Olivia, are you alright?" Mark's voice broke through her thoughts as he joined her on the balcony. "Yeah. Just needed some air," she replied, forcing a smile. He studied her for a moment, concern etched on his face. "You've seemed off lately. Is something bothering you?" "It's nothing," she lied, the words tasting bitter on her tongue. Mark took her hand, his grip warm and reassuring. "You know you can talk to me about anything, right?" But in that moment, Olivia felt a chasm between them. She didn't know how to bridge the gap or express the turmoil within her. "I know, I just a broken bar need some time to figure things out." "Okay," he said, though she could see the worry in his eyes. Days turned into weeks as Olivia battled with her feelings. She continued to paint, pouring her heart into each piece, her art becoming a reflection of her internal struggle. Every time she heard from Alex, it felt like a beacon of light, guiding her toward a path of passion and authenticity. Finally, one evening, as she sat in her studio, she received a message from Alex inviting her to an art show he was participating in. "I'd love for you to come. It's a celebration of everything we've talked about." Her heart raced at the thought of seeing him again. "I'll be there," she replied, her mind made up. The night of the art show arrived, and Olivia felt a mix of excitement and apprehension as she approached the venue. The atmosphere buzzed with energy, the air thick with anticipation. As she stepped inside, she was greeted by vibrant artworks and a crowd of people animatedly discussing creativity and passion. And there, amidst the throng, stood Alex. He looked handsome and confident, his smile lighting up the room as he caught sight of her. "Olivia, I'm so glad you came!" he exclaimed, pulling her into a warm embrace. I wouldn't miss it for the world, she replied, her heart soaring at the connection they shared, as they moved through the gallery. Admiring the art, Olivia felt invigorated by Alex's passion and enthusiasm. He introduced her to fellow artists, each conversation further igniting her desire to pursue her own creative dreams. The energy in the room was palpable, a reminder of everything she had been missing. Eventually, they found a quiet corner where they could talk. "I've missed you," Alex confessed, his gaze intense. "It's been hard not having you around." "I've missed you too," Olivia admitted, her heart racing. "You inspire me in a way I didn't think was possible." As they spoke, the chemistry between them intensified, the air thick with unspoken desires. They leaned closer, and Olivia felt her heart flutter as Alex brushed a strand of hair behind her ear. The moment felt charged, the world around them fading away. "Can I kiss you?" he asked softly, his breath warm against her skin. Olivia's heart raced. She knew she was standing on the precipice of a choice that could change everything. "Yes," she whispered, and their lips met in a passionate kiss that ignited every part of her being. It was everything she had yearned for, electric, freeing, and full of promise. In that moment, she felt truly alive, embraced by the warmth of passion and desire. But as they pulled away, reality crashed back in like a cold wave, and she felt a rush of guilt wash over her. "I can't do this," Olivia said, stepping back, her heart heavy. "I'm with Mark." "I understand," Alex replied, his voice low and understanding. "But you need to decide what you truly want, Olivia. Don't let fear hold you back." With those words, Olivia felt the weight of her choices pressing down on her. She couldn't ignore the truth any longer. She had to confront her feelings, not just for Alex, but for herself. As the night drew to a close, Olivia left the gallery, her heart racing with confusion and excitement. The kiss had awakened something within her, but she knew she couldn't ignore the reality of her life with Mark. She needed to be honest, not just with him, but with herself. The next day, Olivia sat at her kitchen table, a cup of coffee cooling beside her as she stared out the window. She had made up her mind. She could no longer live a life that felt untrue to herself. It was time to confront Mark. When he arrived home that evening, she took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the conversation ahead. "Mark, we need to talk," she said, her voice steady but filled with emotion. "What's on your mind?" he asked, sensing the seriousness in her tone. "I've been doing a lot of thinking," Olivia began, her heart pounding, "about us, about what I want in my life. I feel like I've been going through the motions, and I can't keep pretending everything is okay." Mark's expression shifted, concern etching his features. "What do you mean?" "I care about you, but I haven't been happy. I've lost touch with who I am and what I want," she confessed, her voice trembling. "I met someone who reminded me of the passion I've been missing." Mark's face fell, hurt flashing in his eyes. "Is this about that artist?" Olivia nodded, tears welling in her eyes. "I kissed him, and it made me realize that I haven't been true to myself. I need to explore who I am outside of this relationship." "Are you breaking up with me?" Mark asked, his voice tight with emotion. "I think it's what's best for both of us," she replied, her heart breaking. "I don't want to keep you from finding someone who can love you fully." Silence enveloped them, heavy and charged. Mark looked down, his hands trembling slightly. "I wish you had told me sooner," I would have done anything to help you feel fulfilled, I know. And I'm sorry. Olivia said, tears streaming down her cheeks, but I need to find my own path. To rediscover my passion for life and art. Mark nodded slowly. Pain etched across his face. I hope you find what you're looking for, Olivia. With that, they parted ways. A bittersweet farewell filled with love, loss, and a sense of liberation. Olivia stepped into the unknown. Her heart heavy yet hopeful. She had taken the first step toward reclaiming her life, her desires, and her passions. As weeks turned into months, Olivia embraced her newfound freedom. She poured herself into her art, rediscovering the joy of creation that had once defined her. The city began to feel alive again, each day a new canvas waiting to be filled with color and emotion. She began attending art classes and joined a community of artists who inspired her to push boundaries and explore new mediums. With Alex by her side, their connection deepened. He became not just a muse but a partner in creativity, encouraging her to embrace her true self. Together, they traveled to art shows, explored galleries, and engaged in deep conversations that fueled Olivia's passion for life. Each moment with Alex felt like a revelation, a reminder of everything she had been missing. The hidden kiss of passion had transformed into a vibrant love that breathed new life into her existence. One evening, as they painted side by side in the studio, Olivia looked over at Alex, feeling an overwhelming surge of gratitude. Thank you for being here for me, she said, her heart full. You've helped me discover so much about myself. I didn't do anything special, he replied, his eyes softening. You did all the hard work. You chose to embrace your true self. As they painted, their hands brushed against each other, a spark igniting in the air. They shared a knowing look, the chemistry between them palpable. In that moment, Olivia knew she was exactly where she was meant to be. As they leaned in for another kiss, Olivia felt a wave of joy wash over her. It was a kiss filled with passion, authenticity, and the promise of a future brimming with possibility. They stood there, wrapped in each other's arms, fully aware that their journey was just beginning. With each passing day, Olivia learned to embrace the complexities of life via its joys, its heartaches, and the beauty of following one's passion. The hidden kiss of passion had transformed into a love that ignited her soul, guiding her toward a future she had always dreamed of. As she painted her vibrant landscapes, Olivia realized that love was not just about the grand gestures but the quiet moments of connection, the shared laughter, and the encouragement to be true to oneself. And with Alex by her side, she knew that they would continue to create a masterpiece of their lives together, one brush stroke at a time. In a world that often felt chaotic and uncertain, Olivia had found her anchor, a love that whispered of passion and purpose, reminding her that the journey was just as important as the destination. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you enjoyed, then please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.